You managed to get it.
I tried. Pronounce it well for me so that...
Joseph Dindiok, Kpemka.
You're welcome to Point Blank.
Thank you, Omar.
How is Timpani?
Very beautiful town. Very beautiful people. Very beautiful skipping. Everything beautiful. And hardworking people. Very committed persons. You know, we feed the country with onion.
Oh,
yes, we feed the country with onion. And our people are very much hardworking in their farming activities, a food basket. They do a lot. It's a very fantastic place to be. And I like to use your powerful medium to invite interested investors, especially in agric, to flood the area and take advantage and expand the economy.
Are you a district as well as a constituency, Timpani?
Yes, we just got the status of a district last year.
So you are no more with Garu?
Yes, last 2 years. So yeah, we're no more with Garu.
What factory do you have for the 1D, 1F that your government promised?
Yes, we propose to have an onion factory, and we are looking for partners to make sure that it comes to fruition.
You are in your final year. You still have not put up a factory. You promised the people 1 district, 1 factory. If you don't deliver, they may vote you out.
Well, I as we journey in this particular interview, as we journey, you will realize that the people are not going to judge me by just one promise that we made that may not have been fulfilled. If in an exam you score 95 out of 100, that's an A+.
You scored 94? I'm
just giving you an example.
Go ahead.
And maybe as we journey in this particular discussion, we will come to the conclusion that apart from 1 district, 1 factory that we've spoken about, that processes are being initiated to actualize, there are very visible, very visible and tangible achievements that I'll refer to without doubt as unprecedented achievements in 3 years.
Okay.
That are enough to catapult us back to power in that constituency.
Let's talk about more tangibles and visibles. Do you have any of the dams that were promised in the villages in your district or constituency?
8 of them are ready out of 10.
When they are ready, what does that mean?
They've been fully constructed and handed over. And even if in the last few weeks you were very curious, you would have seen on social media one of the dams that hundreds of people have cultivated onion and vegetables using that particular dam. 1 village, 1 dam at a village called Urianga, specifically at a place called Zansibulga, you know, and then other areas. In fact, 8 are ready. 2 are going to be started within next month, and that will make it 10. And then again, we have been given another 4 bigger ones that will also start later in the year. Okay. But 8 have been fully constructed. I know the names of the villages where they are all located, and they are fully functional and operational.
Can you just mention them?
One is at a village called Kpemka. Another one is at a place called Ninsum. There's one at Susudi. There's one at Nagani. There's one at Busum. There's one at Zansibulga, as I indicated. There's one at Yabrago.
Okay, so our correspondent Frederick Awuni is listening. He would go and check to see if these dams and they are fully functional.
Yes, please. And then there are 2, as I indicated, which are going to be done from next month. That is Wurinyanga and Congo.
You already said Wurinyanga is active and people are using it.
That's Zansibulga and Wurinyanga.
Okay.
We have Wurinyanga is made up of those 2 suburbs, Zansibulga and Wurinyanga Township itself.
Okay.
The one in Wurinyanga Township itself, we decided that there was an old dam there that collapsed, and we decided that we'd rather use the money to work on that to revive it so that they can do the necessary farming activities in that area. But as I indicated, Zansibulga is fully functional.
What else have you done that would merit 4 more for Kpemka?
Thank you very much. And let me state that I cannot use the time allotted in this particular program to enumerate the things that I've actually done within the 3 years that will merit a re-election.
I'm giving you 2 minutes.
But if I were given 2 minutes, I'll just try to summarize by saying that I'll summarize it into roads, electricity, water, educational infrastructure, health, and agric.
How many kilometers of road did you construct?
First, let me say that I'm speaking in a national medium. And since independence, since the 4th Republic, never in our history have we witnessed massive construction of roads in Timpani like it is going on today.
Tell us.
6 roads are under construction, and it is not reshaping because these are feeder roads. It's not reshaping, because reshaping is just routine, and every government has done that anyway. But these are massive sport improvement and rehabilitation. You have Garu, Orianga, a major road. You have Timpani through Gagbiri to Zambala, another major road. Then you have another one at Wimpisi, Kolbore, through to the Pusiga area. Then you have 6 of them, and major ones.
Are these roads that are being constructed or have been constructed?
Are being constructed. One of them is just about to complete.
Would they be tarred?
The first phase, let me mention that the first phase is for them to construct drains, construct culverts, and re-gravel.
Okay.
When all that is done, then the second phase will be awarded for some of them to be tarred, not all.
So it will still be just the dusty roads?
Yes, of course. But that will be...
Why are you celebrating dusty roads?
That's quite interesting. If you know what that means to the people of the area, you wouldn't say that at all.
No, the people of the area want to drive on tarred roads, so they will not have to watch their cars every time.
You have to learn
people want to ride their motorbikes and not
crawl. You have to learn to crawl, then you walk and run.
They have been crawling for 60 years.
You can't from the womb start running.
No, they've been crawling for 60 years.
Umaru, if you see a child who comes out of the womb and starts running, you will run first.
You are a member of parliament. I'm not sure if you are in the parliament quarters around Sakumo. No, I'm sure you're excited when you drive on the tarred roads in Accra. You do not think that people of Timpani deserve same.
That is why I'm telling you that for every situation that you meet, you improve it. And we have improved it tremendously over what it was.
Yeah, but if you're improving gravel road to gravel road, that's the same. I mean, the tree language will say,
you miss the point completely.
Explain.
And I used to be a teacher, and once a teacher, always a teacher. If I were marking a script and you argue this way, I may just
give me 0.
1 out of 10.
No problem.
Or 0.
No problem.
You see, because the reason is very simple. If you know what the people appreciate and the extent to which the people in the area appreciate what has been done,
appreciate the mediocrity.
You will not say this. I don't know whether you are using the word correctly. In fact, you are completely misusing that word.
Okay.
And I have never accused you of being a grammatical malaprop, except today.
You are the lawyer.
Today I will accuse you of being a malaprop, because it is to say that rehabilitating a road, constructing drains, and that is mediocrity. To me, it's just that you're churning out the word that is misplaced completely.
No, I am saying that if you are here and you want us to celebrate a road that has not been tarred, and you're saying that people should celebrate a dusty road.
I asked you a fundamental question, and I told you that since 92 and since independence, what is happening now has never happened.
How long?
So that's an improvement.
How long would it take?
A massive improvement over the status quo.
When would the people of Timpani see quota on their road?
You see, I want to be very honest with you.
Yes.
In my dealings.
Thank you.
I don't like situation where I'll tell you tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow morning it doesn't happen. So what I'm telling you is that I have done the necessary lobbying, and the roads have all been awarded.
Okay.
For re-graveling, and then spot improvement, construction of drains, gutters, etc. That's the first phase.
Okay.
When that is done, I have started lobbying again the road ministry. Of course, because of constraint of resources, all the roads cannot be tarred at the same time.
But this year is a year of roads.
Some of them, indeed, will be awarded for tarring after the first phase has been completed. That assurance I can give you. But I will not be able to tell you specifically when those tarring will be done.
97.3.
So that is just within the road sector.
Fantastic.
That I stated.
Let's leave the development. Let's go to the ministry that you represent. 97.3 Citi FM is the station. This is Point Blank on Eyewitness News. It's 19:15 GMT. My name is Umaru Sanda. My guest is the deputy minister for justice, also deputy attorney general, member of parliament for Timpani, Mr. Joseph Kpemka. Jail corrupt NDC appointees. KT Hammond charges government. This story was written on 20th January 2020. That should be a few days ago, 10 days ago. This is your colleague member of parliament for Adansia Square. He's not happy with the progress of prosecutions by your department. Even he is complaining.
Let me state,
he is a lawyer.
Preliminarily, let me state that Attorney General Department, that's not jail people.
Okay.
Jail sentences are handed down to people by justices of the court upon evidence adduced before the court, and the court arriving at a decision and a conclusion that a person is guilty or otherwise. It is not the duty of the Attorney General to pronounce the guilt of a person. All that we do is to garner evidence, documentary and oral, and present same to the court. Then the accused persons will actually present their case, And on the basis of that, if we have proved our case beyond a reasonable doubt, then the judge will come to one definitive conclusion and convict and appropriately sentence. But to say that we should jail, first of all, we don't have that mandate. If you look at Article 88, we are in charge of prosecution. Okay, all prosecutions of cases in Ghana are at the instance of the Attorney General. And so it is not our duty to jail. We will prosecute, then the pronouncement of guilt or otherwise will be by the court. But we
have always known this, yet when we were in opposition, and I'm using we to refer to NPP,
yes,
we were campaigning that we'll come and jail John Mahama and his people. No, why did we not think at the time, and we had lawyers amongst us, we did not think at the time that, you know what, it's the judges who are going to jail, not we, the NPP. Why did
you may not have understood whatever was said.
Please tell me.
To say that when we come, people will be prosecuted is not the same as to say that they will be jailed. Because the issue of jailing a person rests squarely within the ambit of the judiciary.
Okay.
But as I have indicated, our duty is to ensure that we present a case that is solid enough to convince the judge to come to one definitive conclusion.
So it means you've been failing to present strong cases to secure convictions.
Since we came into office, we've not lost any case anyway.
You've not won any either.
Yes, because there has not been any trial that has come to a conclusion.
It's 4 years.
Let me indicate
your supporters are not happy.
Let me indicate this to you. The constitution that we have for ourselves and our legal jurisprudence, which is adversarial, and the gamut of issues before us are such that we cannot circumvent, short circuit, and try to cut corners in order to get people convicted and jailed to satisfy the marauding anger of people out there. That cannot be. Because we are running a democracy and all our actions are actuated and guided carefully by the Constitution and other statutory provisions in this country. So what we are doing is to make sure that in the end, we ensure that justice is done. And remember, the Office of Attorney General is at the same time intertwined with the Ministry of Justice. Okay, so you are not just an Attorney General who is prosecuting, you are also mindful of justice. And remember that there's a legal dictum that indicates that it is better for 99 guilty persons to walk free than for one innocent person to be put to jail. So on the basis of this, what we are doing as an Attorney General Department is to be meticulous. And remember, I have stated this at different fora, and let me reiterate it, that since the coming into effect of the 1992 Constitution, never in our history have we witnessed the largest number of cases that we are witnessing happening in court today. Never in our history.
I am not a lawyer.
Never ever.
I am not a lawyer. Your colleague member of parliament is a lawyer, Katie Hammond. He is saying that you should jail, and I'm sure he means you should successfully prosecute, and so jail here could be used loosely. And I'm saying that is it the case that he has also lost the plot? If I am mayor man has lost the plot, he has also lost the plot.
Umaru, I am saying that you are quoting from what he has said. And
what would you say to him?
Sitting on from where I am, I can tell you without a shred of doubt that everything is being done to ensure that justice is done. And we are doing everything possible to ensure that we present our cases in the best possible form on behalf of the state.
You've been saying this.
Let me give you examples.
Okay. You've been saying this for the past 3 years. Let me just draw your attention to something. Citi FM Online at the time, Friday 18th August 2017, corrupt bragging NDC officials will face the court. Kpemka, the National Democratic Congress, and I'm reading the story, officials who dared the New Patriotic Party government to prosecute suspected corrupt officials will soon be put before court for their involvement in various scandals. Deputy Attorney General Joseph Kpemka, who made this revelation on point blank, this particular platform, on Eyewitness News, however, fell short of mentioning names of persons involved. This was 2017. Do you have the names of the bragging NDC officials you said?
I'm not going to give you any names. What I can tell you is that without shred of doubt, after that, about 7 major cases have gone to court. That's the most important thing. That's a vindication of what I actually stated. I have stated carefully time and again that it is not a department that is meant to persecute people.
Okay.
It has now become like very boring to the ear, because each time I appear before your powerful medium, I state this categorically that Attorney General is not meant to persecute people. It is a place that is meant to prosecute. And I'm saying that after the statement that I made that you are talking about 7 major cases have gone to court, and several persons, in fact, before 2 months ago, we were in court with about 22 persons in different cases.
Okay.
SNIT, NCA, these were two major ones. Maslock, okay. Then you had the case at Cocobot, okay, and then also venture capital. These are all major cases that were ongoing involving about 22 persons. You are aware of that, and that these trials came after the statement was made.
Okay, so this statement was made for political reasons. So what would you say to politicians who mount the platforms and say loosely that when they, or if they win power, they are going to prosecute and jail the people who are in government?
No, please.
What would you say
please,
to people
let me say that you can go on air and say that when you win power, people who have committed offenses will be put before court. But you cannot go on air and say that people who commit offenses will be jailed. Because you see, you'll be talking about something which is outside your ambit. Because if you come in as a new government and you decide to mount prosecutions, you will not know how the prosecutions will end. You see, one thing I want to tell you, Umaru, is that when you go to court, however solid your evidence you think you have, the other side will also have some evidence to give in court. And remember that in criminal trials, all the accused person needs to do is to raise a doubt. And that doubt inures to his benefit. So, as a politician, and I know that His Excellency the President, Nana Addo, and then the top persons in MPP who led the campaign and we won power, had stated in categorical terms that given the opportunity, persons who committed graft were going to be prosecuted. I never heard anywhere that the president said he was going to jail people when he was campaigning.
Did you hear any member of the party at the time say that you would jail
I did
people?
not, unless you make reference to.
You didn't?
I did not hear anybody say, I will jail. But it was said, and I remember very well, that all those who committed graft and were found of any wrongdoing would not be shielded and that they will be prosecuted. Indeed, that is what we are pursuing now. Those people are being, a number of people are being prosecuted, and many more cases have come up again. Even you are aware, as recent as last week and the week before and late last year, a number of banking cases have also gone to court.
Okay.
You are aware of all
the
that.
Special
so yes, they were living through the promises that were made that people will be prosecuted for graft.
The special prosecutor, Martin Amido, has said that if he is not empowered to start his prosecutions, any prosecution that he starts in 2020 may be deemed a witch hunt, a political witch hunt, because it's an election year. It's 2020. You're going to still have more people put on trial, people who belong to the opposition. What do you make of that advice that he gave when he made that statement?
Yes, he's entitled to his opinion.
Okay.
But even a day to elections, if somebody commits an offense, or if it is detected that somebody committed an offense earlier, the person will be put before court, even a day to elections. So it does not really matter when prosecutions are mounted, because if you look at our constitution, it doesn't give us limits that when it is 2 months or 3 months to elections, do not prosecute anybody. It doesn't say so.
But he, based on his knowledge of our politics and our legal system.
You see, let me tell you one thing. Umaru, if you want to do what is right and you are doing what is right, people will talk anyway. Even if you do it 3 years to elections, they will talk anyway, because people will still have something to say. So it doesn't matter when. What is important is that you shouldn't bring thumb up charges against people by virtue of their political coloration or geographical location and etc. So long as you don't come within that ambit, and as an Attorney General, we exercise our functions in compliance with Article 296 on discretionary power and how it is used. It is not capricious, arbitrary, it's not full of personal resentment and etc. And it falls squarely within that. And we exercise our mandate in compliance with how we are supposed to act in Article 296. Then, of course, anytime, even a day to elections, a person who committed an offense 10 years earlier, if it is detected, will be put before court without fear or favor. Otherwise, what we are saying is that in the name of elections, we should not prosecute if even facts are very glaring. So, and I think that will be most unfortunate. That's not what the framers of our constitution ever anticipated.
When are you fully going to equip the Office of Special Prosecutor? The new building that you told our journalists in Parliament has been given to him. No one has moved into that building. We were there last week.
Of course.
A 10-story building.
When are they going to move into? I am very much aware that he hasn't moved in. And you know also that they are supposed to go through procurement processes to equip the place for him to move in. And then I'm also aware, as I stated the other time, that some people had applied to the office, and the office will be going through processes to recruit staff. You see, Umaru, this is a new institution. And if you look at the globe, I traveled to very important places to understudy their systems, including the United States of America. I was in New York and Washington to look at their systems carefully. And you know that even in those countries, they don't have a permanent office of special prosecutor. They do not have. They have the ad hoc system. So it is as and when issues of national interest come up, then they put up office of special prosecutor, after which it is disbanded. In our case, we've gone a step further. And that's why when we were on the study tour, they highly commended us. They said we're taking an initiative that will be worth emulating. That is even those other countries that we study and learn from. They were commending us that we have a very permanent office. And you know, His Excellency the President gave his reasons for this. And his reasons, the policy rationale behind this was very simple. That since 1992, one of the difficulties that we've encountered time and again has been the issue of people in government prosecuting their own. And that if we have an independent entity such as the Office of the Special Prosecutor, they will act with dispatch without fear.
Would you admit that?
And that is exactly what.
Would you admit that this government has been? Would you admit that? Would you admit that this government has been too slow in delivering or operationalizing the Office of Special Prosecutor?
I totally disagree with
you disagree. Let's move on to other stories. Kwesi Nyantechi, former president of Ghana Football Association. You were quoted on October 31, 2018 saying there's no evidence to prosecute Nyantechi. Is this still the case?
No, what I indicated was not there is no evidence. That's a strong one there. I remember stating at that time that we were not ready with the number of pieces of evidence that we were having at the time. We're not ready to go to court. And I even added, I think one of you interviewed me, and I indicated to the person that we're even waiting for further information and clarifications from the main complainant in the matter, namely that Anas Arimiao Anas and his office. You know, he had at the time traveled out of the country and promised to return and give us further information and etc.
Let me read your quote for you. Quote, I heard that, and some people even posted something trying to indict my boss that she said there was no evidence to prosecute Nyantechi. That's a statement of fact that she made because there is a difference between a civil inquisition in law and a criminal prosecution, unquote. That's what you said.
Yes, at the time.
So, Afson, do we have fresh evidence now to prosecute him?
I will not be able to tell you that. You see, I don't want to sit here and send out scaremongering to people so that they run diarrhea and etc. So I wouldn't be able to tell you that. But what I can tell you is that, let me give you an example.
No, don't give me an example. Will Kwesi Nyantechi have his day in court?
If we finish reviewing the documents and we come to that conclusion, he will have his day in court.
How many years do you need to review his documents?
It may take years, but that does not matter. What matters is, in the interest of justice, whether indeed he will go to court or not. Remember,
do you have an estimated period by which you expect to put him in court or tell him he's a free man?
I won't be able to tell you that because, as I told you earlier, at a point in time, you may need certain pieces of evidence that are not readily available and etc. And we will need, you see, I have stated here that if we are not certain and sure that we are going to win a matter on trial,
you will not go to court
because then we will be gambling.
Okay.
And then just persecuting people. But we will come to certain conclusions with personal judgment before we present it, knowing that our judgment will be vindicated in the end.
One final update that I need from you is the CEO of Men's Gold, Nana Apia Mensah. Will he ever make it to court, or that's the end of the case?
Well, I think that we are waiting for them to build a duplicate docket and forward to us. They've done their investigations. They've not concluded everything. And when remember that, you see, there's one thing which is a problem. People do not differentiate between investigations and prosecution. Attorney General's office does not investigate. The investigations are carried out by the CID, IOCO, and other such like bodies. It is the product of their investigations that come to us for review, and then charges are appropriately preferred against persons who are then put before court. For example, you can charge a person preliminary with murder as police, and you bring it to us. Then upon review of the documents, we will come to the conclusion that it wasn't murder, but manslaughter. So the charge will change. So our duty is to review the documents. And when we find that there's a lacuna created in the investigations that can be exploited, we advise you to go and do investigations to cover that lacuna so that we can have a solid case in court.
Thank you. We need to go, but someone has sent a message that the minister's statement on the roads is false. There is no work going on at Kobore or Kobore. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Let him tell us who the contractor is. This is
the contractor is called Arako. He did the work Kolbore, which is starting from Wimpisi Kolbore through to the Pusga area. He did the work. He has raised his first certificate. The certificate is before the ministry for payment for him to go back to continue work.
So he's not on site as we speak?
As we speak, he's not on site, but he's done the culverts, he's finished, he's raised the certificate, he'll be paid, he'll go back to complete it. So what the person has rather indicated to us that nothing has been done is incorrect.
Deputy Attorney General Joseph Kpemka, thank you for coming on Point Blank.
Umaru Sanda, I'm grateful, but I wish we could go on and on.
No, you are discharged for now.
Am I acquitted?
Yes. No, not acquitted, but discharged.
But what you have failed to tell listeners is the accusation you've been leveling against me, which I will have a day with you in court.
No, those ones are for off-record conversations.